Welcome to Guitar Slinger episode 6. I call this double the fun basically because I've got 2 gigs in the same day. First task is to go to our little music store where I rent a lot of gear. And I have to pick up a battery-powered amplifier, which I'm going to use for the gig tomorrow, which is a wedding, where I'm playing in 3 different locations and I'm bringing out 3 different sound systems. It's going to be a busy day. Anyways, here's where I'm picking up the rental amp, and then I'll bring it back home so I have it for the gig tomorrow. Okay, so here we go. This is off to gig number 1 on the 2 gig day. On the dashboard I have my 2 contracts. I've got checks so I can pay the other musician who's with me today. Over here we've got my guitar and my songbook, which just has a whole bunch of cheat sheets and charts for me to work on. I've got a wedding that I'm playing tomorrow that I still do not know from the bride and groom what songs they want me to play, so I'm going to just rehearse a bunch of different ones that I think are possibilities, and hopefully they email me sometime during the day, so I'm going to know before the wedding as to what songs they want me to play. But that's the way things happen. Anyways, I've spoke with them numerous times. In the back of the truck you can see I've got all the gear. I have 2 sound systems with me, more or less just for a backup. I'll use my smaller one for both gigs, but I know the second gig I'm doing, we may need more sound reinforcement, so it's all there. And it looks like I got a phone call, so I gotta go. Alright, here it is, Harrison Point. This is going to be where my first gig takes place. Looks like quite a nice venue. I have no idea where they want me to set up. Could be outside, we'll find out. And we'll get a place to park. Alright, here we are pulling into the venue. So this is the parking lot and this is the front of the venue. It's a place called Harrison Point, which is a really, really nice brand new retirement home here in Langley by the airport. Here's my power amp. I'm now inside the venue and I'm just setting up my gear, pulling out a bunch of cables out of the power amp. Those cables I'll use to go from the power amp to the speakers. And next you're going to see me setting up the speakers for the sound system. For this gig I'm only going to use 2 speakers, and the speaker stands, by the way, I keep underneath this cart, which makes it really handy. So all my speaker stands, mic stands will go underneath the cart, and then the speakers are all in that black case that you see there. There's 2 of them that I use most of the time. It's from a Yamaha PA. So there's the second speaker stand, so I'll set that one up. And I'm going to put 1 speaker where I'm performing, and then a little further down you'll see where I'm keeping the other speaker. So here's my setup for this event. Basically I plug my guitar into this cable here. From there it goes into a Fishman oar, which is this unit here. That's what gives me a really good nice nylon string sound, which then goes into the Bose T1, which is a little mixing board. From there I have an MP3 player which plays a click on one side and also plays a second guitar part when I'm playing solo, and that again goes into the Bose T1, and I'll monitor it through some headphones. I also keep a black cloth to keep the cables from being seen, so it's nice and neat. Here's my power amp, 1 volume control for each of the 2 speakers. Stopped at Tim Hortons earlier. Here's the venue and where I'm sitting. So there's another speaker just down the hallway. There's a fireplace there. It's a little hard to see that speaker. And here's the venue itself. So this is the room that I'll be playing for. It's going to be a nice event. Here I am actually playing for the event, so you can get an idea of what it's like from my view. If I was to be looking up at the ceiling, here we are from another view, having a look at what it's like playing for the event. So now the event is ended and it's time to quickly pack up and get everything loaded up on the truck, hit the road, and head downtown for the second gig. So with my cart packed back up, I'll head back out the door and load up the truck, and away we go to the next event. Alright, so it's now 4 o'clock. I finished the first performance at Harrison Point, so we're all done there. I've packed everything into the truck and I'm on my way to the Oru restaurant, which is at the Fairmont Pacific Rim Hotel right downtown in Vancouver. So I checked the traffic report. Traffic's going to be good, so I should get there in fairly decent time. And another bonus is I just heard from the bride for the wedding that I'm going to be playing tomorrow, Saturday, and I now know what pieces I'm playing for the wedding ceremony. So that's really good. So everything's going great. We will see everybody at the Oru restaurant. Okay, so my drive to the Oru restaurant is probably going to be, normally it'd be an hour, but it's Friday rush hour, so I'm having to deal with this. Now, this is pretty standard, and I took into account that I would have this traffic problem. So this is probably going to put me back an extra half hour. So it's gonna basically take me an hour and a half to get to it. But because I now know what music I'm playing for the wedding tomorrow, which is great because I have absolutely no rehearsal time, I brought my music book of charts here. I'm going to get a head start on just rehearsing a couple of tunes. I'll just have a look at the tunes and literally just sort of run them through my head, so I've got a good idea as to how I'm going to approach playing them for the wedding tomorrow. Okay, we'll continue to the Oru restaurant. See you soon. Okay, so here we are in beautiful downtown Vancouver. Here's the waterfront. It's crazy to think that this place was such a mess with burning automobiles and everything not too long ago, just a few days ago with the Canucks. So we'll go to the hotel here. This is the main entrance of the Fairmont Pacific Rim Hotel where I'll be performing. To my left is the Vancouver Convention Center, the new one, and here's the parking lot. So we're going to go in here, get a place to park. So I'm now in the parking garage of the Pacific Rim Hotel in Vancouver. I'm just going to unload my gear once again for the second time today, throw it all in the cart, and then we're going to lock up the truck and make our way to the elevator. There's two sets of elevators that I have to deal with on this gig. This is elevator number 1. That'll get me to the lobby. And like most hotels, you have one elevator for the parking garage and then a second elevator to take you up to the rooms. So now we're in the lobby of the hotel. As I'm walking through the lobby, you'll see to the left there's a guy just playing guitar and singing. He sounded really, really good. There's the Oru restaurant, and now I'm just making my way to the escalator. I'm going to go up one more story, almost there, rather than taking the stairs, which would be a pain in the butt with all this gear, but I've had to do that before too. Now I'm upstairs at the restaurant, and here we are making our way into the restaurant. Here's where I'm going to be setting up for the event, and now I'm unpacking my amp again and setting things up for the second time today. And we're playing as a guitar duo, so there's the two guitars, my setup with my Bose T1, the same setup you saw before. And here's the venue. You can see the speakers that I have. I also have a speaker at the end of the hallway here, and now we're going down the other end of the hallway, and this room here is for storage. That's funny. It says no storage. Okay, so now I'm on my way back down to the parking garage because somebody forgot the charts. So for all the young, aspiring musicians that are just starting out to gig, make sure you bring doubles of everything in case musicians forget charts, forget amps, forget guitars, you name it. I had one musician on a gig actually forget his bass guitar. Actually, I think they just didn't put it in the case, but those kind of things happen, so you almost have to be prepared for anything. So yeah, on this particular event, I had to actually go down and get my second book of charts. So here we are actually playing on the gig. There's a lot of chatter happening in the room. We're hired just to be ambient background music for an event, so we want to make sure we're not overly loud and people can hear themselves. So now what's happening is the event's over. I'm packing up for the second time today and lugging everything into the first elevator.
Ground floor.
Thank you. And then we'll head off to the second elevator. So at this point of the gig, I believe it's around 9 o'clock. The event for us started at 6:45, and we were performing to 8:15, and then it's about a half an hour or so to pack up. We had to wait a little while for the client to move into another room as well before we packed up and headed on our way. That guy out there is an awesome guitar player. Amazing.
P3.
So now I'm back in the parking garage, and it's time to load up the truck with all the gear. After that, I'm going to grab my parking ticket and head over to the parking meter where I'll find out what the verdict is. It's funny, you'll see in a little bit. There was also a magician that was entertaining with us as well, and I'm going to meet up with him here at the parking meter, and you'll hear us joking around about the parking rates. You could get the parking meter to pay for your parking.
Actually, I forgot what my car was, but finally, I was up and down all over. Where did I park?
Oh no,
Right.
14, that's good.
It's on the after 6 price, right?
The weekend, yeah. No, I was before 6, so they're gonna get me for the nighttime fee and probably
a little bit of the daytime too, yeah. Specifically, they shut your gate until after 6. I actually looked it up on the thing, and I was like,
I've done that already. Just sit out at the meter. Just sit there and wait for the parking meter to roll around. Yes. Yeah.
Joe.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, we'll see you later. Okay, and oh man, because I was before 6, crazy. 23.50. Can you believe it? Insane. And here we go. So that's it. Finished for the night. I'm tired. 2 gigs is a lot of work. Setting up, tearing down 2 sound systems in 2 different areas. Now it's time to rehearse for a wedding, which is going to happen in the morning. I'm wiped. And that's all the vandalism from the hockey game. All the windows smashed out of the Bay store for a whole block. And it says on the boards, "We will get you all." So I guess the city is fighting back. So that's my double gig day. Thanks for watching this episode. We'll see you in the next one.